Stopping worrying and leaving everything in God's hands is a process of exploration and learning. What it is an effective way to reduce stress and overthinking in the daily life. Before we can delve into the details of how to do this, it is important to recognize and understand the signs of overthinking. Feelings of stress, incessant worry, difficulty sleeping, and mental tension are common signs when we overthink. Sometimes we may recognize these signs ourselves, while at other times we may need recognition from others to realize that we are experiencing excessive worry. Upon recognizing these signs, we can begin to take steps to address the issue. One of the most effective ways to stop overthinking is to practice acceptance. This means accepting what we cannot control and trusting that everything will be handled according to God's will, instead of worrying about an uncertain future or fretting over the past. Live in the present and believe that everything will be okay. Acceptance also involves acknowledging that we are not perfect and that failure is a natural part of life. Much of overthinking stems from focusing on the future or the past. Instead, focus on the present moment and strive to live a meaningful life. This may require a shift in our thinking and actions. Practicing focus may involve creating to-do lists, meditation, or even simply practicing self-awareness and experiencing what is happening around us. Prayer or meditation are two powerful methods to reduce worry and overthinking. When we pray, we surrender everything into God's hands and believe that He will guide us through every difficulty. Prayer does not necessarily have to be a religious activity. It can be a personal conversation with our inner world. Meditation helps us focus on the present moment and reduce anxious thoughts. Regular practice of both activities can cultivate a sense of peace and tranquility in the soul. If you are a religious person, seeking support from the religious community can be an effective method to rejoin overthinking. Participating in prayer meetings, support groups, or seeking guidance from experienced individuals can help you find comfort and faith. A religious community provides a safe environment to share concerns and hopes, often offering support and advice from others who share the same faith. Life is a journey with many difficulties and challenges. Stopping worrying and leaving everything in God's hands is a way for us to face these challenges calmly and confidently. By recognizing the signs, practicing acceptance, focusing on the present, praying, and seeking support from the religious community, we can find peace and tranquility in daily life. Trust that everything will be handled according to God's will and live a meaningful and happy life. Sometimes, stopping worrying and leaving everything in God's hands is not as easy as we think. We may get caught up in a whirlwind of negative thoughts and worry about things beyond our control. However, our perspective on the issue can change if we look at it from a different angle. Stopping worrying does not mean using concern or ignoring important issues. Instead, it means understanding that not every problem needs to be solved immediately, and not everything is within our control. The key is learning to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot, and focusing only on what we can do. An effective method to help us stop overthinking is to create an action plan. When we set specific goals and create a plan to achieve them, we feel more confident and worry less about uncertainties. An action plan not only helps us progress in life, but also helps us focus on positive and meaningful things. Moreover, seeking support from family, friends, and the community around us is an important part of stopping worrying and trusting in God's will. By sharing our burdens and worries with others, we can receive encouragement, support, and advice from those around us, helping us feel lighter and more confident in problem solving. Ultimately, remember that everything can happen according to God's will, and that trusting in His will is the key to reducing worry and overthinking. No matter how difficult life may be, always remember that God is always with us, guiding us and protecting us in every situation. Above all, live life meaningfully and happily, knowing that everything will be handled according to God's will. Do not let worry and overthinking rob you of the joy and meaning of life. Trust and leave everything in God's hands, and live each day with gratitude and faith in His power. And in the light of faith and gratitude, we can view life with a more secure and calm mind. By placing our trust in God's will and practicing acceptance, we can free ourselves from the burden of overthinking and worrying about things we cannot control. More importantly, we learn how to live in the present, enjoy every moment, and appreciate the good things in life. Most importantly, when we stop worrying and leave everything in God's hands, we open the door to inner peace and happiness. By recognizing but accepting the things we cannot control, we find freedom and lightness of heart. Life becomes a journey full of meaning and happiness. We are no longer entangled by the troubles and worries of the past or the future. With unwavering faith in God's will, we enter each day with gratitude and confidence that everything will work out according to the best plan. Despite trials and difficulties, we know that God will always lead us through every difficulty and bring us comfort and strength. So put your faith in God's will, live every day with gratitude and happiness. Don't let too much thinking and worrying take away the joy of life. Trust that everything will be handled according to His will and leave everything in God's hands. Just by walking with faith and gratitude, we will find peace and happiness in our journey, knowing that God is always by our side and leading us through all difficulties.